Man, terrible day. Uh, Horrible. Down like $50, which, I should be down more because I took a loss. And then started just revenge trading, gambling, freaking over leveraging, taking stupid setups I don't take, trading off the 30-second chart. Just so much dumb stuff. That's literally just not even trading. Like, I was just gambling today, to be honest. We start off the day just with a really bad loss. I don't know why I took this long. I just took the long because I was bullish. My bias was bullish. Obviously, we're not bullish today. My bias, I should have known that I couldn't be bullish yet in terms of just blindly longing, because even though we did... Bro, is my mouse really going to die right now? That's so annoying. That's so dead. Okay. Even though my bias was bullish, we swept liquidity. We came down. We internally swept again. But we did take out these highs. We took out these highs. We came up here. We rebalanced price for this move down. Bigger time frame, we were just trending down. So I shouldn't have been super bullish until we hold and respect the fair value gap. Maybe sweep below again and get displacement up. Come back down and displace through a high. Then I could have validated longs. Rookie mistake. Just really over-eager price reading. Just really over-eager to get a trade. Really over-eager to win. Just really committed to my bias. And this was just wrong. I was just wrong. I had the wrong bias. I was biased. That's the word, bias. I was biased towards longs for no reason. I was way too committed on my bias. I was way too overcommitted on my bias. And that shows in this long I took. I was trying to justify this being an order block over here. I don't trade order blocks. And then we inverse this. I was like, okay, we'll get to this high, right? And I basically longed the reversal. Regardless, this is not a good trade because we don't take out any real liquidity. This is just low resistance liquidity. We don't take out liquidity. We don't have an SMT. We're not really delivering out a bigger time frame fair value gap. Nothing that I take my rules based off of. And I took the trade and I lost instantly. That humbled me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm down. And after that, my head space completely disappeared. Fridays, I always have a tough time when I lose because I start just thinking about making back my money, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Saturday, Sunday, I won't be able to trade. I won't be able to make this money back. What am I going to do? And I just get really frustrated. I threw away all my profit for the week. I was like, oh my gosh, I just lost $200. Like, throwing myself a little pity party. I was really frustrated, and there's just no opportunity here. And I could have just turned off the charts when we just started selling off like this and be like, look, nothing for me to do. What do? I don't even know what I was taking here, to be honest. We ended up taking like a long here, plays out a little bit. I made a little bit of money back. I used a full contract, which is double my full size, which is 5 micros. I was so determined to get these highs. I still think that we're going to come up to here at least. But regardless, I was just like, oh my gosh, let me long this tiny little fair value up, another trade. We're in the middle of nowhere. I have no context whatsoever in this trade. It does work out. And then, because it went right to here, I was so overconfident that we were going to take out the high. Boom, I long this fair value gap because I'm like, I can just squeeze out a few more points and I'll be profitable in the day. Instantly lose because it's a stupid trade. Literally doesn't follow anything. And then we come down, and then I just started gambling price. I think I took it, I don't even know what I did in here. I took a short. We ended up hitting this. So now we're back a little bit. Then I do something else. I was just gambling. I was just straight gambling, over trading, just doing all the things I know not to do. And what's really frustrating about this is that I'm not a beginner. I shouldn't be making these beginner mistakes. Like, this is something you should do when you're first starting trading, like your first funded account, right? Like, this is too far in the process. This is just embarrassing, honestly. Like, I'm embarrassed to have to come on here. And for the people that watch this video, I'm embarrassed to have to tell them what I did today because, I mean, this is, like, disgusting, right? This is, like, getting caught, like, doing some weird stuff, like, I don't know, like, doing some inappropriate stuff, like, I don't know. It's like if your parents walk in on you and, you know what I'm saying, like, doing something that you shouldn't be doing. That's just kind of how it feels, is, like, having to talk about this and be like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I did. I feel like I just did some, like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm doing something terrible, like, and I just got to beat that gambling part of my brain that when I lose, I got to make it back. I got to beat that gambling aspect of, like, oh my gosh, I can't handle a loss. Like, I've got to stop being so afraid of losing, and it's just holding me back. To to learn from the mistakes. We know what to learn from here. It didn't follow my rules. I didn't take any liquidity. We didn't have an SMT. I was too confident in the bias. There was nothing here. There was no reason for this to be a long setup. And if we look at the price, okay, what are we doing? We just displaced the downside. What do we expect? To grab a low. The drawn liquidity was lower, and I'm taking a long. I'm going against what the market's telling me. Even though I was long bias, at this moment, the drawn liquidity is telling me lower. So I just went against everything. And that's the thing. It's like, even though it's a frustrating day and it feels really bad, it's like when I look back, it's like I made that mistake. I chose to take a bad trade. I knew that was a bad trade. It wasn't like I took the trade and it didn't work. I'm like, oh my gosh, why didn't that work? I know exactly why that didn't work. It wasn't a good trade. I was just looking to force an opportunity. And these are trades. This is nowhere near even A+. This is a random inverse. And those trades, like, why would I ever take that trade? Honestly, I am glad this trade didn't work. Because if this did work, and, I got to take profit or whatever, I would reinforce shitty habits. It would reinforce really, really bad habits. It would have been like, oh, yeah, you can get away with long in random fair value gaps. That aren't your setup. I'm glad this setup punished me. Because this thing did not deserve the work. And it deserved to do exactly what it did. And I'm glad I took the loss, even though it made me mentally spiral. And I started spiraling, started gambling. Even though that was the case, I'm so glad for it because it reinforced the fact that I cannot get away with dumb stuff. You can't get away with dumb stuff in the market. You might get lucky a few times, but consistently you will never win long term if you get away with dumb stuff. The market will punish you. That's what it's here for. It's to give you that reality check, that slap in the face. Today was a slap in the face. Today was just part of the process, but I've got to do better. I can't just talk about doing better. I got to do better. I can't keep doing this BS, coming to the market, gambling, right, just overcommitted to my bias, just overconfident in my thinking I'm going to be able to long here because it's supposed to go here. The market isn't supposed to do anything. I'll tell you that. That's one thing I've learned about trading for as long as I have, is that the market isn't supposed to do anything. The market is not supposed to do anything. It doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't even know your name, man. It doesn't care about you. So you cannot expect to think that you're some genius going to come on here and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to go here. So it doesn't even matter where my stop loss is. Like, I'm not going to lose. Once you start thinking you can't lose, once you start thinking it has to go somewhere, that's when you lose. And that's when you start doing bad, and that's when you start getting humble in the market. And that's what I'm saying. It's embarrassing to come on here and talk about these types of mistakes this far into my process. But that's the reality. You just can't give up. You got to keep trying to get better. And you have to fix it, right? If I sit here and I talk about this and I don't fix it, I can't get any better. But if I sit here and I'm like, okay, look, this is what I did. Again, can't happen. Shouldn't happen. Why is it happening? But we got to do better. We will do better, right? We're going to do better. We're going to figure it out. And we're just come back next week, right? We had a small winning week. I did gamble. Excuse my language. I try not to curse on here. I did gamble to get back some of it, but it's all right. End of the day, we end the week. We learn from it, but we forget about it. We block it out. Okay, that was just, that wasn't what I'm supposed to do. I know that's what I'm not supposed to do. I'm not going to do anymore. Remove that. Okay, day's done. Can't change what happened, but we can learn from it. I know what not to do. It reinforce this feeling. I don't want to have this feeling after a day of trading again, right? Like, you don't want to have this feeling of just kind of like regret. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? I'm wasting these opportunities. And so yeah, learn from it, but move on. Forget about this week. We learned a lot. We got better. We had really good days, right? We had one day yesterday. Right? If I took both those trades, the one I took on paper and the one I got out early, that would have been a 60-point day. This 20-point loss would have been nothing if I just took a good trade like I'm supposed to. So it just reinforces, man. Reinforce. Just build conviction, build confidence. Don't let your confidence waver when you make a mistake, because when you're starting out, when you're practicing, when you're getting better, when you're not profitable, you're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. I just have to limit them, and I have to learn from them. So we learned from it today, and we just got to do better. I don't even know what to say about the actual market. I mean, the reason it's bearish is just because we are trending down. We went to equilibrium. Let's see. We hit equilibrium. We were in a seek and destroy model, so too, the draw was London low. So again, that long makes even less sense. We came to equilibrium of that move. We came from equilibrium of the move from yesterday, and we came to equilibrium. No, we didn't. Not that one, but yeah. So glad for the experience. It sucks. It hurts. And we got to do better. But I'm glad for the experience, right? I am expecting that there would be some type of long to set up, but I won't be able to trade it, especially on my eval account, because look at today's conditions, right? Like, do you want to be trading this? No, you don't want to be trading this right now. And I just gotta know when to step away. I would have rather stepped away on that first loss. I mean, I say this, but the gambler and the dopamine in my brain tells me that I'm glad that I stuck around and made back most of my loss. So now that I'm only down $40 on the day, and I can have a $100 positive week, the little dopamine that needs the money validation and the whatever to validate what I'm doing is, oh, good thing okay, we can't do that, but we got out ahead, so it's all right. Like, we'll just forget about it. Like, no, like, I would be more proud of myself, and this is the logical side of my brain, right? Again, the dopamine part of me is happy that I made back money. I'm happy that I'm only down $40 because I was down 230. So $40 is a lot better than 240. So I am happy. Like, I genuinely feel better, right? I feel better because I got money back. But I know I would have felt a whole lot worse if I lost that money, if I blew my account, if I hit daily loss limit, and that can happen. It's happened so many times doing this exactly what I did. So even though I feel that happiness, because it's just dopamine in my brain, these dopamine receptors are going off. Like, oh my gosh, we did it. We came back a little bit. It's not a terrible day. The dopamine is firing right now, and I cannot just treat trading as a dopamine firing range. Like, I can't just be like throwing out dopamine like it's candy. Like, oh my gosh, like, we can just do this because it feels great and I feel good right now, and I'm happy for this. Like, I can't rely on this dopamine spike because of and trade off dopamine and be like. So I would have been much more proud of myself if I took the loss like a man, been like, okay, look, so a bad trade, so a bad entry, take it on the chin, turn off the charts, calm down. We're only down $200, right? We have next week, we have the next trading day, we have the next month. We have all unlimited time. The market's not going to wait. I would have been much more proud if I just had that mindset, been like, okay, cool, I'm not in the right headspace. It sucks, but I'm going to step away. I'm going to go on with my day. Come back and review, learn, whatnot. I didn't do that, and that's bad. Again, it's the dopamine. Like, genuinely, I can sit here and tell you, it's kind of like what's the word? BS into someone, like being a hypocrite. Like, I can be like, oh, don't practice bad habits, don't do this, don't gamble, revenge trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm disappointing myself. I am disappointing myself, but it's like a guilty pleasure, right? Like, that's what they call, like, guilty pleasure. Like, I guiltily enjoy the fact that I made money back, right? Like, I enjoyed, even though it's like I didn't get any better, I didn't take any good trades, I didn't learn anything, I was creating bad habits, but it's like, oh, I feel kind of good though for only losing $40 today when I was down 240. Like, it's a lot nicer it feels a lot nicer, right? And it's just like, I need to be able to turn that dopamine, honestly, what I need to do is a dopamine detox, bro. Like, I need to remove dopamine. Just quit scrolling, bro, because that's just feeding dopamine. My brain craves dopamine. I need to learn how, honestly, and that's why the people talk about so much. Like, I need to learn how to get that quick dopamine out of my brain, out of my craving, because I crave quick dopamine. I crave quick dopamine. That's why everyone fails, man. It's like quick dopamine, and people talk about it, and it's like, people talk about this, right? Like, I'm not some guru, but like, people always talk about quick dopamine is a cause of just like failing and stuff, right? And it's just like, why your friends, like, be smoking that whatever, you know what I mean? That's why your friends would be going out on weekends, right? Like, it's that quick dopamine, bro. It's like, that's why they're going to be stuck in the same place. That's why they're going to fail. But we all like that quick dopamine, right? And it's why people do anything. It's why you eat that junk food, because that quick dopamine in your brain. That's why you know what I mean? That's why you do all these bad habits, right? And it's like, I gotta just change my mind. I gotta get disciplined and remove the quick dopamine needs, bro. Someone's mowing the lawn, but that's all I got, man. Frustrating day. Again, I feel good. I feel all right? I would have been a lot more monotone, a lot more sad, a lot more disappointed. I probably wouldn't even freaking made a video. I would have. But I would have been a lot more just like, I probably would have made it later tonight and had to cool down, because I do feel better. It does feel better to make some back your losses, even though you know what you're doing is wrong, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's like if you owe someone money and you find like half of that money you owe on the ground, it's not really yours, but it feels nice that you don't owe as much now. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that, and it's so hard for me me sitting here. It's hard to be like, I don't even feel authentic. I don't even feel genuine. I feel like I'm lying. It's like, because I don't feel terrible. Like, I feel better, right? But I know, but this is the thing, right? If I did this and this was the first time and it worked, I'd be like, okay, maybe that wasn't that bad. But I know what this does. I know what this results in. I know what this can do. This could have been $1,000 loss day max limit. And then what do I have? $1,000 hole Monday morning. Instead of a $240 hole, that's one good trade away. Right? One good trade away from wiping out this horrible day, right? But because I have the scarcity mindset, like I'll never find a good trade again. The market's never going to be good again. And I'm so afraid when I get into winning trades, right? So I had to try and make it back. But I know what this could have been. It could have been a $1,000 loss. I could have been waking up Monday morning trying to come back from a $1,000 loss. And what happens normally after that? I over leverage. I trade worse because I'm trying to make so much back all at once instead of just focusing on the trade. Trade by trade. Step by step. Focus on the process. That's what I need to do. Focus on the process. Focus on each trade. Focus on each minute. Focus on each whatever day. I can't focus on my P&L. I can't focus on how close I am to pass my funded. I can't focus on any of that. I got to focus on what trade am I looking for? What is setting up? I can't control that if I took a loss. I can't control if the market gives me a good trade. I can't control if I get a good trade in one day. I can't control if I take a win and then the trade and then the next day I take 2 losses, right? I cannot control these things. I can't control, but I can react to the market, what it gives me. And I have to take what the market gives me, and I have to respond to it, and I can only trade off what I see. I can only trade off what I know, and I can't worry about P&L. I can't worry about week, whatever. I can't worry about any of this stuff. I got to trade the charts. I got to trade the setups, and I got to treat it like a business. I got to treat it like a skill because it is, and I have to just treat it. I've got to trade to targets, to liquidity, whatever it is. I have to trade that. I can't trade, I can't trade based on emotion, based on P&L. I can't trade on any of that. Because how many times am I in a trade and I'm down on the day and then my next trade I take is a good trade and I'm in a good headspace, but, it starts running in profit and let me just take off 3 of the contracts here because then that'll put me break even or positive on the day, and then I can put my stop break even, and then I'll let my runners run. And then I just cut myself short on the trade, right? If I just took the trade and traded the trade and traded the model instead of trading my P&L, I would have made more than I even made. And it's just like, I know these things, got to drill them into my head. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Ala Madrid, tomorrow the Champions League final. Hoping for a Real Madrid win. Hoping we have a good day. I'm glad that this week is over because this week has been I've been so preoccupied with the Real Madrid game. I've just been so focused on that. Like, that's all I think about is Real Madrid Dortmund, the Champions League final. So I'm glad that that's happening tomorrow. I'm literally just going to spend the rest of the day just like thinking about that game, watching videos about Real Madrid and just waiting for that game because I'm so excited for that and I'm just glad for the get over and I want to enjoy it. Hopefully it's an enjoyable game. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it lasts hours. I mean, obviously it doesn't, but I hope it feels like it lasts forever. I don't want it to go quick because this is such a special game, such a special moment. But yeah, hopefully we win. You'll be seeing some videos on Sunday if we do win. If not, we might get a video on Monday morning or Monday night, because we'll be pretty sad, right? And then, so that's it. Everyone root for Real Madrid in the final. Right, and let's see what we can do. So, overall, all right week. A lot of mistakes, a lot of learning. We got better. I'm happy for it. We'll come back and we'll kill it next week. We will kill it next week. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys have a good day. Hope you have a good night. Hopefully you have a good Saturday tomorrow. Real Madrid final. And again, we're closing on that 100 subscribers. I don't think we've gained one since yesterday. Let's see. We have not gained since yesterday, and we've been not really pulling many views, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But we are closing on 100 subscribers. We could get it over the weekend. So I'll see you guys on Monday or Sunday. A la Madrid. Peace.